Joining me now is Mark Weiss. He's a retired airline captain and now president of the Weiss Consulting Group. Why the shortage?
There's a number of reasons behind it. One of them, in your last segment, really highlighted one of them. There's been a lack of minorities and females entering this field for decades. And certainly, I know here, at least in the United States and obviously in Asia, they're putting a major push on trying to get more females into the cockpit, making it more palatable for them. There's a lot of reasons. It's almost like an accident. Things don't happen from just one reason. It's a chain of events. Different standards to get visas now. Emerging middle class that has a lot more disposable income. More people are traveling. More people are enjoying that opportunity. Xi Jinping had asked that more people get passports. Somewhere around 4 to 5% of the Chinese population have a passport. He wants to expand that to 12 to 15%. That's millions more people. So that's certainly one of the big reasons why this is happening.
You put more people in the air, you need more people flying those planes. How dire would you say this situation is? And what do you do to kind of remedy this? I mean, a lot of times when you recognize there's a problem and try and remedy it, it's probably too late. I mean, obviously, this has been something that's been going for a while.
It's been talked about, and like with a lot of things, it's been denied for a lot of years as well. So what are they doing about it? They're doing a few different things about it, particularly in China. What they're doing is they're paying exorbitant amounts for pilots to come into the cockpit. I wish I was still flying, believe me. That's certainly one thing, but by doing that, that's causing shortages in other parts of the world. So that's creating a vacuum, you know, in the United States and in Australia and even in Asia, because it's sucking up a lot of the available pilots. That's one thing they're doing. The Chinese are buying flight schools around the globe, because right now they're only training about a little over 5,000 pilots a year. And it's estimated that in the next 15 plus years or so, they're going to need 115,000 pilots.
Wow.
That's a lot of people. But if you only look at the pilots that they need, you're looking at only part of the equation. Who's going to, you know, do the maintenance on the aircraft, to crew the aircraft? It becomes a cascading effect. It's a lot of people that you need, and a lot of different positions that you have to go with.
And women in the cockpit, it's not just a problem in China, as we illustrated in that story. Why do you think women haven't been attracted more, and what needs to be done to remedy that?
Well, if at least here in the United States, you know, when you go back into history, it's always been almost like a macho position to be a pilot. Now, certainly during the World War II, in the United States, we had women pilots, but they were only allowed to ferry airplanes back and forth. It really wasn't until the late 80s until females started getting into the cockpit more and more. It wasn't a profession that was looked at as a woman's profession, which was really sad. In my years of flying, I've been very privileged to be able to fly with a number of women pilots, and they were excellent. I mean, a lot of them came out of the military. So when you take a look at what Asian carriers, where they're getting their pilots, there aren't a lot of women in the military in Asia who would filter into those roles.
That's very interesting. Mark Weiss, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.